Okay, so I ran across a thought and I made it in a video, which I'll link below. But I talked about the future of insurance and how I think that there's going to be kind of a Google login where you can see your insurance, your life, everything that you do. Well, since that video, my phone has been going off and telling me about all of these crazy things that are out there. And apparently, back in 2017, this kind of became a thing where it actually has become a subscription. Just like you pay for your cell phone, you can actually get your car subscriptions as well. They're not cheap, but we're going to dive right into that. So, what if you could mix your car insurance and your maintenance and everything into one single payment? They do say that the easy route is far better, or people are going to choose that far more often than the best financial route. And I can truly see that happening with all of these options. Now, these companies that are doing this, we're going to go through, but they are some of the middle to higher end companies where they're starting to jump on board to people that don't want a 5-year lease and a 3-year lease. They just want to rent a car month to month, or they want a 12-month policy or plan, or even a 6-month plan, and they're offering those with different companies. So I came across this, and it was Volvo, which is the one that I saw first that does this, which is the XC40. They offer for $600 a month. You can pretty much trade it in whenever you're done with it. And you can upgrade to their T5 Momentum for $700 a month. And that includes insurance. If you want to go to their forgiveness system, they allow to forgive you up to $1,000 worth of fees. So if you drove too many miles, whatever the case was, they're just going to let you get by without having to pay those extra costs. Be careful because they don't include the rims. So if you damage the rims, you're going to pay those out of pocket as an additional expense. Now, one of my favorite companies I was looking at right before I bought a used vehicle, I was looking at leasing a Genesis, and there was the XC70 that was catching my eye. They have some really good programs. Genesis doesn't quite do the same program. It's similar to a subscription where they bundle maintenance and everything into it and insurance, but they're offering for $489 all the way to $909 per month. So it's several $1,000s down. So you got to pay anywhere from $2,500 down all the way up to $5,500 down, depending on which vehicle that you're going to go with. The ones I was looking at were kind of in the middle of that. So whether you're going to get just the Genesis Coupe, the XC70 versus the GV70, or whatever the case is, those luxury vehicles, you're going to pay a premium for that. And you have the option of doing that monthly. The problem is that Genesis does it for 36 months. So it's essentially the same as a lease. So their basic price is a little bit higher because you're paying for the convenience, but they're about $1,200 per month to do that. If you go high end and you get a Range Rover and you don't go with the lower Jaguar brand, you're going to pay about $2,500 or more per month to have the Range Rover. Not bad for a $100,000+ vehicle, so you're getting some options where you're going to be able to drive that vehicle, but if for some reason something happens, you just turn it in. You may owe a couple bucks if there's some maintenance on it left, but at the end of the day, you're not locked into 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, and having to sell it and all of that extra stuff. Nissan's jumping into the mass market, so they are trying to jump into this pool as well, where they're doing something called the Switch program. And they're only doing it in Houston, Texas, so it's a little bit limited, but there's 2 versions of the program that they're starting with. It's $699 for the first version, which is pretty economical. It's the Nissan Altima and the Rogue, and then they also offer a $899 program where you can get the Leaf, the Murano, and the 350Z. Now, for those of you that want to drive the fast GTR, the supercar, they actually let you do that, but it's limited to 7 days, and it's $100 a day in addition to the standard program. So it'd be kind of fun to do every once in a while if you want to drive that vehicle. I think it's pretty cool, but the $699 program is going to be pretty neat to have everything bundled into one little piece where you can just pay one bill and not worry about it for $699. That's kind of on that border of where some people are likely going to lean into. Now, without going super far in depth, there's a ton of companies doing this, so we'll just go through a few last ones. There's Porsche. They're doing it. It's called the Porsche Drive. It's a subscription, and they're naturally $2,000 to $3,000 per month. That's just the pricing of the vehicles. But apart from that, it's not just the big manufacturers. There's a few companies that are doing these programs that are just used vehicles. There's a company called Borrow, and they're only in Los Angeles right now, but they offer a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 9-month at this time, but they're only electric vehicles. So they start at $199 a month, which is cheap. That's only going to get you a little smart car, a 2-person tiny vehicle, which in most cases, if you're in the city, you're not going to need something much more than that. But for safety reasons, you may want to upgrade to what they call the city plan, which is $399, and then you can get a little bit larger of a vehicle. They also offer something called the premium plan, which is $524 for 9 months, $624 for 3 months, and you're getting more of these larger vehicles, the larger crossover type, hybrid type vehicles. They also have a really cool plan where they can let you loan or let you purchase a Tesla Model S. That's $1,099 right through that Borrow program. 2 last companies that we're going to talk about. There's one called Fair. I didn't dive super deep in them. That's all used vehicles. So if you're looking for the used market, look up a company called Fair. They have some pretty good rates where they let you choose that. And then Hertz jumped on the bandwagon. It's called Hertz My Car, or they call it the Sixt program, SIXT. And those range anywhere from $459 plus $199 fee on up. So I'll read you the Kia Rio as an example. $459, pretty tiny car. $199 starter fee. If you want for a few more vehicles, they also do a Mercedes C-Class. That's $849 per month. And they do the Range Rover. It's called the ownership. So you actually can own that vehicle, and that's about $1,049 per month. It's kind of crazy because I didn't expect this to even be a thing, and I didn't realize that all these companies are doing this, where they're bundling the car insurance, the car maintenance, everything just packaged into one deal. To me, it's really expensive. I would rather nickel and dime and pay the lower cost, because $200 a month cheaper is what I would expect to do. That's going to save you a lot of money. But for those of you that are in businesses or are trying to just get the quick and easy out the door deal, these are going to be some pretty cool programs going forward. Like I mentioned, you may just press a button and you're logged into your subscription. It includes your insurance. It includes everything that you need to get going down the road. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Is this something you'd be interested in? Do you think that it's a program that will continue, or is it something that you think would just die off because the cost is a little bit up there? I don't know if it's worth that additional $200, $300, $400 depending on your cost of insurance. And how much does your driving record play a factor in this? If you have multiple accidents, are they going to raise that price with your lease program? Or are you locked in for 6 months or 12 months? That may be a benefit to go with something like that over your traditional buy your own car insurance, buy your own car, pay for your own maintenance. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.